Okay, girls, shall we start? Open your literature book. Before we go to the second and third read, let's remember what did we take. So, the chapter we took was chapter 3, The Travels of Ibn Battuta. Okay. Here is it. Can you see my PowerPoint now?
Yeah.
Yes, miss.
Okay. In Ibn Battuta, we discussed that the character, and we said it's any person, animal, or figure. We studied textual evidence. We said textual evidence is what? An evidence from the text to support my claim. I have a claim, I have an idea about the text. Okay, I thought of anything. Textual evidence is to support what I'm thinking of. Textual evidence. And then the theme. And the main goal of this chapter is to analyze the theme. We talked about the theme. This is the general message that the author wants to give me. And then we discussed the narrative and dialogue. The frame story is when we meet a story inside the story. Okay, what was the story inside the story? A story of whom and whom? A story of the Caliph and Kasib. Okay, and a story inside the story. And we discussed oral tradition is something inherited from a generation to another generation. Ibn Battuta, a Moroccan traveler, and the travels of Ibn Battuta. We then met Kasib and we met the Caliph, and we said what happened, that the Caliph, the people of Egypt refused the Caliph, so he decided to hire the worst slave on them. And then what happened, he became, the slave Kasib became a well-known ruler. Everyone started to go and visit him, and he sends gifts back to them. Kasib was well known, generous, cunning, unselfish, right? The Caliph was ruthless, cruel, and at the end remorseful, regretful when he regret what he did to Kasib. Today, we take the second and third read. We know that we take one text. I opened the wrong one. We take one text, and through that text, and this text we read 3 times. The first time we discover something, the second and third time we discover more. So here, girls, are you with me?
Yes, miss.
Why I feel that you are asleep today? Why do I feel that you are asleep today?
No, we are here, miss.
Yes, miss, we are here.
May I read?
Yeah, yes.
May I read, please? Miss?
Can you see my PowerPoint?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, wait a minute. This is, here is it. The Travels of Ibn Battuta. So now the second and third reads. Through the second read, we will analyze something, and through the third read, we'll analyze something. We'll discover something. So in the book, open page 45. 45. Read, Elayan.
Miss, from the excerpt, The Arabian Nights.
No, read page 45.
Oh, okay, okay. Okay. Second read, analyzing theme, objective. Read the excerpt a second time. Write change next to details that indicate a change in the Caleb's character. Circle the events that caused this change.
So
Focus on.
here he wants us to reread the excerpt. We read it once. I will not read it twice, but you will read it silently or scan it silently. What does he want? He wants to analyze the theme. Analyze the theme. How can I analyze the theme? What is it? To understand the message. So read Yalayan the PowerPoint.
The theme is the main idea about the life of the author, the life the author wants to communicate. To determine a theme, you have to analyze key elements of the story, including characters, plot, point of view, how characters change or don't change, and response to events.
So I have to look at the characters, at the plot of events, at the point of view, first or second or third, and how the characters developed. Okay, did they change in their personality or they stayed the same? So maybe we get the message. At that time, when we analyze these things, we get the message. Okay? Continue from the book, Yalayan.
Yes, focus on analyzing theme. The theme of a story is the main idea about life that the author wants to communicate.
We read it. I wrote it in. I wrote it in the PowerPoint. So now we go to the plot components. What is plot components? This is how I write a short story. This is or a big novel, any story. This is how I write it. You studied it, I think, starting from grade 4 or something. Exposition. Exposition. What happens in the exposition? Exposition is the opening of the story. When you open the door to see the characters. So when you first open the door, you see the setting. You see that it's day or it's night, it's winter or in summer, it is morning or night. So the setting is the place and time. And then I meet the characters. This is an exposition, setting, and characters. I meet the setting and then the characters. Then I have a conflict. The arrow goes up with me to the conflict. Begins the conflict. After I reach the conflict, rising action will happen to increase the conflict till I reach the climax. Climax is the top of the conflict. Again, exposition is when I need the characters. Exposition when I need the characters. Okay, this is the diagram of a story. This is how I write a novel. First thing, when I open the door of the story, I see the setting, the time and place, and I see the characters, and then I go to the conflict. Conflict is between the characters or between the main character and himself. Then rising action. What is a rising action? Rising action are an action that will increase this conflict till we reach the climax. Climax is the highest peak of the conflict. The highest peak of the conflict. And after I reach the highest peak of the conflict, then falling action starts to happen. What are falling actions? Falling actions are actions that will solve the conflict. Till I reach the resolution is the conclusion of the story. Okay? Till I reach the conclusion is the resolution is the conclusion of the story. So before I show you my slide, let's think together. In the exposition, what did we say? Of the frame story. Here, I want the frame story. Hello, girls.
They talked about Caleb.
Yes, miss.
Hello, where are you? I feel I'm totally alone. What happened in the Arabic test? Be with me.
Teacher, you mean like the exposition and the travels of Ibn Battuta, ولا which?
The Caliph and Kasib. What was it?
Yes.
Yes.
They started to introduce who was Caliph and
Yes, who was the
from who he
Caliph?
is.
Yes.
And they also talked about his characteristics a little bit. Then they started talking about Khasa, Caliph,
Yes.
the
So
second character.
Yes, we met Caliph and we met Kasib. Right? We know that there are two characters. What is the first thing happened in the story?
When he wanted to punish the...
Excellent. Caliph wanted to punish Egyptian by hiring the worst slave on them. Right?
Yes.
Yes.
The cast.
Okay. So this is what happened at the beginning of the story. We met Kasib and we met the Caliph, and then we know that the Caliph wants Kasib to be hired on the Egyptian. Then what happened, girls? What happened after that? What are the events that will lead me to the conflict?
Kasib became more popular than the caliph himself.
Yes, Kasib is now extremely popular. Girls, you have to participate with me, please.
Yes, miss.
Yes, where are you? Be here with me. Kadra, where are you? Rima, Bayan, Ragad, Durra, Najwa, Noor, Natalie, Fatima. I will not call each
Yes,
girl
miss.
by her
I'm
name. Be
with
with
you.
me. Yeah. Rise now. After we know the Kasib and the Caliph, we met them and we know what happened. Then what? We know that the Caliph hired Kasib on Egyptian as a punishment for them. What happened? Kasib became so popular. Then what happened?
Caliph started jealous.
The relatives of the caliph, they did not go to the caliph and they went to Caliph.
Yeah, Kasib became so popular. People used to go to visit him and he gives them gifts. One day, what happened on that day? The Caliph
questioned.
Yes, questioned a man, where have you been? He didn't attend to him. He asked him, where have you been? And then he knew that,
He was.
They have been in Caleb's house.
yes, Najwa.
Angry
And
because
he became quite angry because of that.
Yes, he became quite angry, Fatima, because of that. Why, Malak Wasim? Why Ragad? Why the Caliph got angry? Why? Girls, you are not here? Malak?
Yes,
Yes, Malak. Why the Caliph got angry?
because he got jealous.
Yes, so the Caliph got jealous of Kasib and he then did what?
Punished him.
Yes, punished him. Najwa, how did he punish him?
Ordered that his eye will be put out and he will be kicked out of the country.
But he did what, girls? He did what to Kasib?
He ordered his eyes to
Yes, he ordered to get his eyes out and then be punished or left in a street of Baghdad. Then what happens?
He meets the poet.
Yes, he meets the poet. Layan?
Yes,
This is Layan. Yes, Layan. What happens, ya Layan, when he meets the poet?
the poet wanted to recite him a poem, and
Yes.
then, do I tell you what happened? He gave him the stone that the only
Yes.
person think he
So
had.
Kasib was walking in the street after he got punished and he got his eyes pulled out of their places and he saw a poet. The poet wanted to read for him his poem And then what happened? He gave him what?
The gem, the stone.
Yes, the stone, the ruby.
Yes.
Yeah, yes. Yes, Kasib gives the poet to the ruby. So all of these are rising actions till we reach the climax. What happened? What is the climax? Climax is the highest peak of the conflict. It happens exactly before the events starts to fall down.
Felt sorry about because what happened with the castle.
Yes, again, sir?
The caliph, he felt sorry.
Yes.
He
No,
regretted.
no, not now. Before the caliph feels sorry, what happened?
It tells the
He went to sell the stone.
Yes.
Only for
Yes.
the caliph.
when the pope.
Excellent, Kadra. When he went to sell the stone, he was caught and sent to the caliph and questioned by the caliph. And then he told the caliph about the Kasib's gift. So this is the highest peak of the conflict. After that, a rising action happened. What happened?
The caliph.
An inclining. I'm sorry, not rising. A falling action.
He said sorry to Kasib.
Yes, he felt
sorry.
regretful and remorseful for what did he do. At the resolution, Lin Ayad. What happened at the end of the story, Lin? Lin Ammar. Any Lin? Jana, what happened at the end of the story, Jana? No one here? What? Where are you girls? Yani, I called for names. Okay, Noor Yusuf, what happened at the end of the story, Noor?
Miss, the Caliph gave Kasib many gifts, and he also ordered that he could have whatever he might wish, and he gave him the house that he wanted.
Yes, excellent. So here is it, girls. Is it? How I removed it? You still see my PowerPoint?
Yes.
Yes.
How can I remove this black one? It used to.
There is no black.
Yes, there's nothing. Yes.
You can see a black.
No, yeah, it's clear.
Okay, so here the rising action. Here the exposition. You see the exposition, girls? You see it?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
Rama is here.
Beside it.
Jumana, you're here? Lean, Jana, Rama. Where are you, girls?
Yes, miss. Yes, miss.
Yes. Jumana, read Jumana the exposition.
The caliph tries to punish the people of Egypt by naming the slave Kasib as ruler.
Then the conflict. What happened in the conflict? Asma Kraker. Asma, are you here? Joanna, are you here? Girls, I will write anyone who doesn't reply me as absent.
Yes, Miss.
Yes, Joanna, read Joanna. The rising action here.
Okay. Miss, where?
PowerPoint presentation. Joanna, it's in front of you here, Joanna.
Yeah.
Jumana.
Yes, miss.
Continue reading, Jumana.
The conflict.
Rising action, yes.
Rising action, events, problems, and conflict that build suspense or increase complications in the story.
So, what happens? You tell us, Jumana, while you read.
Kasib is an exemplary ruler. Kasib becomes well known. People visit him and he gives them many gifts. One visitor returns to the caliph and describes Kasib's
Generosity.
generosity. The caliph grows enraged that Kasib is such a kind ruler. He blinds Kasib and exiles him from Egypt. The poet finds Kasib and recites a poem written for him. Kasib gives the poet the ruby and he has thrown into his robe.
Okay, thank you, Jumana. Ghada? So these are rising conflict. Ghada?
Yes,
Climax, إيه غادة?
the turning point of the story, the point of greatest conflict or intensity.
Intensity, yes.
The poet tells the caliph about Kasib's gift. The caliph is sorry for what he had done.
A resolution,
And
Ma'am?
the conflict.
yes,
Can you hear me now? Sorry, the mic wasn't working.
yes. Yes.
Okay.
End of conflict. The caliph gives Kasib many gifts, including a house in which Kasib lives until his death.
So now you understand, girls? You understand it?
Yes, yes.
This is what we get out of the second read. To analyze, we analyze what the plot events.
Team?
Yes. Okay? You understand, girls? So there are
Yes.
questions. I want to ask some questions. Here. What plot twist suggests that making Kasib a ruler was not a good idea form was not a good form of punishment? ده نوائل. Why hiring Kasib as a ruler was not a good idea or not a good form of punishment? It was not a punishment. دانا شاهين. دانا سهيل.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Dana, answer me. Where are you, grade 10? Dana, where are you, Dana?
Here, ma'am.
Answer me, dear. What tells you that making Kasib a ruler was not a punishment for Egyptian? Dana, are you here, حبيبتي?
Yes.
طب, can you think with me? Tell me anything. You understand what is the question?
Miss, yes, I understand.
So answer me, dear.
What, miss?
Answer me.
Miss, well, I don't know.
Okay. Noor Bilal.
Yes, miss. Because Kasib is a kind ruler.
Yes, because Yadana, he was hired as a punishment to Egyptian because he is the worst slave. But they found out that he is what? A kind-hearted man. Okay? A kind-hearted. Instead of being mean and tyrannical, as the caliph wished or hoped, Kasib was exemplary, a kind-hearted man. Okay? Thank you, Noor. Second question. What role does the large ruby Yadurra play in the narrative here or in the story? What happened? The large ruby, what was the rule of the large ruby?
It was on his robe when he got kicked out from Egypt, and he met the poet. So like he gave the ruby to the poets because he like couldn't see it to got pulled out,
and then when this ruby was the reason that the caliph hears again about
he felt
yeah
sorry to Castle.
yes. Question number 3 رغد. لانا ماهر.
Yes, miss.
لانا read
Yes.
Lana question 3.
Do you think the gift of a house is enough to compensate Kasab? Why or why not? Miss.
Yes, I'm waiting for your answer, dear.
Oh, okay. I think yes. Yeah, I think yes.
Okay, so it is your opinion. So
yes,
your opinion that you think yes. Any girl has another opinion? Do you have any girl?
Yes, I have.
Tell me.
But I don't think it's enough because at the ending he removes his eyes. So it's not it's not something that you can like give something like what can I say about it? Like
Nothing
it's not
compensates eyes.
No matter how many gifts he gives, it's not enough. Yeah,
there is so yes, I respect the two opinions. There is a poet, his name is Amal Dunkel. He's an Arabian one. He wrote this. It's in Arabic, but as long as we study this is in Arabic traditions and Arabic stories, and so it's okay to take this statement of of an Arabic language. He says, can anyone read it, please?
Can I read it next?
Yes, please.
هل ترى هي أشياء لا تشترى.
أترى. Start from أترى.
أترى حين أفاق عينك
أفقأ عينيك
أثم أثبت جوهرتين مكانهما. هل ترى هي أشياء لا تشترى.
Yes. So what do you think? Which opinion does this statement support? Whose opinion?
Mine.
Sarah's or Elena's?
Sarah's opinion.
Yes. So he talks about that there are things in the world that cannot be compensated at all. As
Can you slide because I want to take a screenshot in case I don't get to finish.
Alayana, I always upload the presentation.
Yeah, but it's always a hard time finding them. So just taking them off.
Why? It's in the course material.
Because, like, you know, I barely open my course materials. That's why they're all so messy.
Okay.
Thank you. Anyways.
So, while I was preparing, I remembered this statement and I wanted to show it to you. Because there are things, girls, in life that when they are gone, we never can compensate them. Right? These are blessings from God.
Yes.
Once they are gone, we cannot replace them back. Okay? Then determining the theme of a narrative. This is the third read, so okay, what will you solve today, girls, at home, homework? Open page 46. The theme of the story, how the characters and events, how characters and events reveal the theme. So please, Layan, read this.
Okay.
Layan, other Layan?
Me, miss?
Yes.
Me, yes, okay. Determining the theme of a narrative requires a high-level, multi-step process of critical thinking. Students must first understand the various elements of the story and then step back, consider them as a whole, and make an inference about how the elements suggest a larger idea.
I will think of everything, the characters, the plot, the point of view, and how characters changed in order to give the theme of the story. You sit back, you look back, you sit back and you look closely to make an inference about the text, and then you decide what is the theme of the story. So this is the paragraph about this is the paragraph you are going to write about the theme. Okay?
Miss, what do you mean
Yes.
by this one?
By what?
By the one that's in it. What should we do?
You write me here, write a paragraph explaining the theme. Of your opinion, what is the theme of this story? How can you analyze or decide this theme? Huh? It's up to you. When you go back like this and you look the whole story, how I will depend directly on how characters change, because this is the main message, and then you decide what is the theme.
Okay.
The theme of the story is this, and explain it, how the characters and the events reveal that theme.
Can I go to the bathroom?
Yes, we will 2 minutes, Dana, and no, 9:25 we finish, right? You need 2 minutes, 2 minutes, Dana, just finish this part, and then you take a break, 4 minutes or 5 minutes. Okay, girls, we agree?
Yes.
So now we will go to the third read. Third read, we will compare stories. The story that we read will be compared to another story, and we will compare the two stories together. Okay? So now open the book, page 46. Joanna, are you here? Joanna? Liliane?
Yes, miss.
Read, Liliane, from your book, The Arabian Nights.
I start like there lived once in Baghdad a wealthy man and made of money who lost all his substance and became so
Destitute. When you are so poor, you don't have any money to live. Okay, so here he will tell us about a man in Baghdad, and so this is also a story of what? Baghdad is what? What, girls? Baghdad is what? Iraq, an Arab country.
Yes.
Yes. So it's also Arab traditions. Ibn Battuta is an Arab, and Baghdad, a story happens in Baghdad. So it is also Arabic traditions. So what is that? What are we going to read? We are going to read, this is Shahrazad and Shahriyar. Shahrazad and Shahriyar. Who are Shahrazad and who is Shahrazad and Shahriyar? Once upon a time.
Yes, the one.
Once upon a time. So 1,001 night. 1,001 nights. This is a collection of stories, okay, written in Arabic and in Hindu, in both languages. We will read now and we know. Okay, Joanna was reading. Who was reading, girls?
Me, Lilian.
Liliane, read from the slideshow, yeah, Liliane, from the PowerPoint.
Tales from 1,001 Nights, which is a collection of stories from the Middle East and India that dates back to the 8th or 9th century.
The Adventure of Aladdin, Ali Baba, and Sinbad the Sailor are set with the frame story of King
Shahriyar and Shahrazad.
betrayed by his unfaithful wife, whom he
Executes.
executes. Uh, Shahryar vows to take out his revenge by marrying a new wife each night and killing her in the morning. When the king marries Shahrazad, she devises a plan to save herself. She tells the king a story but ends it with a
Cliffhanger. I will tell you what does it mean, but let's finish reading.
promising to finish it the following night. King Shahryar, intrigued by her story, allows her to live another day. This goes on for 1001 nights until the king has fallen deeply in love with Shahrazad. This excerpt is just one of Shahrazad's many tales.
So girls, go, please go. Wash your face. Go wash your face and wake up. In these 4 minutes, drink water, jump in your seats because you have to focus with me next period. 4 minutes and come. Okay?
Sure, miss. Okay, miss.
Wash your faces, girls.